Hi everyone, hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to show you the Varla Eagle One scooter, electric scooter, and this thing, I've taken it through the snow today a lot because I wanted to see if it could handle it, and it did very, very well. I have driven this thing in the slush, in the mud, in the dirt, bumpy roads, smooth roads. I pretty much challenged it as much as I could, below zero temperatures, warm temperatures, and it performed quite well. Now, I never thought of myself as a scooter guy. You know, I always wanted one when I was younger, but I thought maybe I was too old to have one now. But after riding this thing for about 3 weeks now, I am not too old for a scooter, and I don't think you guys are too. So I'm going to show you what this is like from my perspective as a middle-aged, slightly overweight man, and show you that this thing is super fun. It's terrifying to ride it for the first time, but it's also super fun. So let's check out the Varla Eagle One electric scooter. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you happen to be here for the very first time, my name is Russ and this is 51 Drones. And yes, this is primarily a drone channel, but I also like to review many other things, including electric ride-on things right now. So I did a Himaway e-bike review this past fall, and that was really fun. And the reason that I got into that is because I wanted something that I could use for using tracking in my drone, like the active track feature on my drone. And I didn't want to get a boosted board or anything like that, so I got the Himaway electric bicycle, and it's really fun. But then I thought, you know what, I also kind of want to try a scooter. So I reached out to Varla. Varla is a manufacturer of electric scooters, and you may have heard of the Eagle One because they give a lot of these for reviews to the YouTubers. And so I thought, you know what, I want to try it out, see what I think, and let you guys know what I think as well, because I think it's a really fun thing that we can still do even as we get older. Like when I was younger, I didn't think I would ever get a scooter other than one of those toy ones that you could get in the store at Target or Walmart or whatever. And I always wanted like a real scooter. And the Varla Eagle One is a real scooter. It took me till I was this age to get one, but I'm so glad that I did. And I think a lot of you that are maybe hesitating to get one because you think you're too old for one, trust me, you're not. Anyone at any age can ride this thing. Now, if you've never ridden one before, it is, like I said, pretty terrifying because it's a lot different. You're standing and moving very fast, and you're very uneasy at first. But the cool thing about it is you can just put it in first gear, go as comfortable as you can, and then get used to the speed. But either way, I still recommend wearing a helmet and possibly some elbow pads and knee pads as well, but for sure, you certainly need to wear a helmet when you ride this thing. Now, the first thing that really struck me about the Eagle One is how big it is. Even after doing a little bit of research online, I was really surprised at how beefy it is when I opened the box. It's not like one of those scooters that you would see in a department store. This thing is a legitimate adult toy. It is not a scooter for young children. It weighs 77 pounds and it stands up pretty high. So if a child is gonna ride it, they're gonna have to be pretty tall in order for them to be able to ride it both safely and comfortably. Now, assembling the Eagle One was super easy, which was also very surprising. I was thinking it might take up to an hour to put it together because that's how long it took me to put the Himaway together, but it actually only took about 15 minutes. All you have to do is attach the handlebar, you position all of the components, and then you tighten the screws with the included multi-tool. You lock the stem into place with the double clamps, and you're ready to ride. Now, at first I thought one of these clamps was an extra one, so I only had one on the stem for a while, but you actually need to put both of those clamps on there. The Eagle One can be folded, which makes it a little more convenient to transfer in your vehicle, but like I said, it's pretty heavy, so it's not something that you want to be hauling like into work every day or on long trips or whatever. You're more likely to lock this beast to a bicycle rack when you're taking it places. Now, included in the box is some extra grip tape, which are really nice. I really like the choices that they give you. There's the multi-tool for assembly, the charging brick, and then there's an extra tube. Now, even as big as it is, the Eagle One is incredibly fast. The torque was pleasantly surprising, especially when you have those dual 1000 watt motors engaged. You see, you have a choice. You can either use the single motor, like the rear motor only, or you can just push this little button right here and then you can use both motors. And you can even squawk the front tires a little bit if you lean back just right and punch the throttle.
Watch his front tire. It's so fast.
And yes, that's right. This scooter has two 1000 watt motors, and they're powered by a 52 volt, 18.2 amp hour battery that sits below the deck. It does take about 8 hours to fully charge the battery from 0 all the way up to 100%. And it does have two charging ports, so you have the option to purchase a second charger, and that's gonna cut your charging time in half. But honestly, I don't think you really need it. You just plug it in overnight, and by the time you get up the next day, it's fully charged. The independent suspension on this thing is amazing. I was expecting to feel every little bump and crack as I went down the road, but the ride is actually quite smooth, and it's almost like a little mini trampoline when you jump on it. It's got a lot of flex to it, plus it's got that independent suspension. The deck is more than adequate in size, which allows you to reposition your feet in many different ways, and that helps reduce some fatigue if you plan on riding it for a very long time. Now, I mentioned how fast this scooter is, but how fast is it? It is claimed that it can get up to 40 miles per hour, and I tested it out many times, but I think I'm just a little bit too heavy to max out the Eagle One. I think, you know, for someone that weighs anywhere between 160 and 180 pounds, they might be able to get up to 40 miles an hour, but I didn't get quite that fast. So right now I got it in turbo mode, dual motor, and we're gonna see how fast this thing takes off and what our maximum speed is for a 200-pound middle-aged man. All right, here we go. Holy cow, the thing takes off so fast. This is already fast enough for me. Getting about 30, 31, about 31 miles per hour. I think that's about all I'm gonna get. So, yeah, I think that 40 miles per hour is for someone a little bit lighter than myself, but you know what? 31 miles per hour is terrifying. So, but holy crap, is this thing fun. Either way, 31 miles an hour might as well be 100 miles an hour, because that's what it feels like when you're going fast on this thing. So even if I were 20 pounds lighter, I don't think I would even try to ride it at 40 miles per hour. I would say about 20 to 25 miles per hour is a very comfortable speed, but it's still enough to give you some rush. Now the 10-inch tires do have a tube, and I did actually pop one when I hit a huge gap going over a bridge. I did. I popped the tire. Now, thankfully, I wasn't too far from home, so I could just walk it back. You do get an extra tube in the box, like I mentioned, which came in clutch because I would not have been able to complete this review without that extra tube. And it's actually not that difficult to change it. I was kind of like worried about, you know, how hard it was going to be to take the rotor off and take the wheel off, but it's actually pretty easy. It took me about 20 minutes to do that. And I'll put a link in the video description that shows you in detail how to do it. You can get off-road tires for the Eagle One, which I think I'm getting. I think they're on the way. I was hoping to have them before this review, but I haven't received them yet. But I definitely could have done a lot more, at least through the snow with those knobby tires. I did try it through the snow, and it actually did pretty good with the regular tires. Okay, we're gonna go off-roading through the snow. We don't have the off-road tires. You know, I think I could make it up the hill if it weren't for the snow here. But let's see. Let's just see how far we can get, okay? Oh, holy crap, almost. I'm gonna try that again. But I know if I would have had the knobby tires on there, I certainly would have made it further through the snow. This scooter is designed, I think, to be an off-road machine. And if you do happen to get one of these, I strongly advise you to get those off-road tires. As I mentioned right in the beginning of the video, I rode this thing through mud, snow, straw, you name it, and it took everything like a champ. You have to have both motors engaged, otherwise you're not gonna go anywhere. But having that two-wheel drive is really, really cool. The hydraulic brakes are really good, but they're almost too good. Thankfully, you can adjust them with a controller, and you can tone them down just a little bit so it's not such a sudden stop. Now, in addition to adjusting the brake sensitivity, you can also use that controller to adjust many things like acceleration power, the voltage cutoff, the power limit. You can set cruise control, and many other things. Now, to keep this video short, I'm gonna link a very good video that I found online that taught me all about the settings, and I'll put it right up here, and then I'll also post it in the video description if you wanna check that out. The only thing that I adjusted was the electronic brake power. It can be set from 1 to 5, with 5 being the hardest brake. I set it all the way down to 2 because I don't wanna go tumbling over the top of the handlebars if I happen to pull on that brake too fast. The Eagle One does have front LED lights and brake lights, which are really nice. The front lights don't really provide enough light beyond the front wheel, so if you do plan to ride at night, I would mount a separate light, like a bicycle light on the front, and then possibly also a strobe somewhere just for safety. I've used the scooter now for a couple of my drone videos, and it works very well. All of my drones have been able to recognize and track me as a subject, and that's why I get these things. I think it's really fun to add that dynamic feature into my drone videos, and having something cool to look at while it's being tracked is key for me. So it works really well. Now, a few negatives about the Eagle One. First of all, I already mentioned it a little bit, but it's very heavy. It's not a portable or a compact scooter that you can just toss in the trunk of your vehicle and take anywhere conveniently. Transporting the scooter is going to take some effort and some planning. For the casual rider that wants to go have a blast, it's great, but it's not the best commuter scooter per se, because you can't just fold it up and carry it into your office or set it in your cubicle or whatever. This thing's gonna have to be parked outside, and it's gonna have to be locked up to a bike rack. Secondly, I wish that the throttle was a little bit different. It's challenging to get used to having the finger throttle so close to the brake lever. I wish it had either a thumb throttle or maybe even like a grip throttle. I'm more familiar with both of those, and I think it would be easier for someone to get used to if they've never ridden anything like this. As a first-time scooter owner, I can't effectively compare the Varla Eagle One, but I can say that I'm having a blast riding this thing. It's fast, it's very comfortable, it has a pretty long battery life. That is if you ride in eco mode. If you're gonna be riding in turbo mode and you have both motors engaged, it really doesn't get very much battery life. I got about 14 miles doing, having everything turned on, like both motors and in turbo mode, which is still pretty fun. I mean, that's still plenty of time if you're gonna be going fast. So if you're going on a long ride, I would just use the single motor, and I would use it in eco mode. It's really great for off-road enthusiasts, and it's very well built. This thing is put together with some thought. Now, if you're interested in learning more about the Eagle One, or if you want to purchase it, there is a link in the video description. Hey, click on that thumbs up if I give you any information of value today or entertained you in any way. Subscribe to become a member of this amazing community. Thank you for watching the entire video today. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.